Welcome, everyone. If you've ever wondered why prices go up, how businesses make decisions, or how to better manage your money, then you're in the right place. This course will cover the foundations of both personal finance and economics in a simple, easy to understand way. You don't need any previous experience, as I will explain every step by step, with real world examples to help you understand. So let's get started. Before we dive into the deep topics, let's answer one question. What exactly are personal finance and economics? Personal finance is all about managing your own money. It includes budgeting, saving, investing, using credit wisely, paying taxes, and planning for your future. Economics is the study of how people, businesses, and governments make decisions when resources are limited. Since we can't have everything we want, economics helps explain how choices are made. Throughout this course, we will connect these two subjects because they're closely related. Understanding economics helps you get smarter financial decisions and knowledge. This course is divided into two main sections. The first is microeconomics. Microeconomics focuses on individuals and businesses. We will learn about things like supply and demand, pricing, competition, and consumer behavior. The second is macroeconomics. Macroeconomics looks at the economy as a whole. Topics include inflation, unemployment, economic growth, and government policies. We will start with the basic building blocks before moving into more advanced ideas. So, what is an economy? An economy is simply the system people use to produce, buy, sell, and share goods and services. Every day, millions of people make choices, whether it's buying groceries, starting businesses, working jobs, or investing money. Together, all these decisions make up the economy. Economics studies these choices because resources like time, money, labor, and materials are all limited, while people's wants are unlimited. There are three major groups that keep every economy running. First are households. Households include individuals and families. They earn income by working and spending money buying goods and services. Second are businesses. Businesses produce products or provide services in order to earn profits. They hire workers and respond to what consumers want. Finally, there's the government. Governments create laws, collect taxes, provide public services, and help keep markets functioning properly. All three constantly interact with one another. So let's make this more relatable with the lemonade stand. Imagine you're running a lemonade stand. You buy lemons, sugar, cups, and ice. You decide how much lemonade to make. Consumers decide whether they are willing to buy your lemonade. If lots of people want lemonade on a hot day, you may sell out quickly. If very few customers show up that day, you'll probably have extra lemonade left over. This simple example demonstrates many of the economic concepts we will discuss through this course. So, one of the most important ideas in economics is supply and demand. Almost every price you see, from sneakers to houses to concert tickets, is influenced by supply and demand. Understanding this concept helps explain why prices rise, why shortages happen, and why businesses change production. So, what is supply? Supply is the amount of a product or service that producers are willing and able to sell at different prices. Generally, when prices increase, producers have an incentive to make and sell more because they can earn greater profits. Let's go back to our lemonade stand. If you can sell each cup for $5 instead of $2, you'll probably want to make more lemonade because each sale earns you more money. That's the basic idea of supply. Demand is the opposite side of the market. Demand is the amount of product consumers are willing and able to buy at different prices. Usually, when prices decrease, people buy more. For example, if your lemonade costs only $1, many more customers might decide to buy a cup. If the price suddenly jumps to $10, far fewer people will be interested. This relationship between buyers and sellers determines market prices. So, what are these different costs? There's sunk costs, opportunity costs, and marginal costs. Each one helps explain how people and businesses make better choices. Sunk costs is money or time you've already spent and cannot recover. So let's take the lemonade stand example again. You spend $20 on a beautiful sign for your lemonade stand, but on the first day it's out, a storm comes in and ruins all your lemons. The $20 spent on the sign is sunk cost. It's gone forever. So if you're deciding whether to buy new lemons tomorrow, you shouldn't say, I have to keep going because I already spent $20 on that sign. You should only focus on whether tomorrow's lemon sales will make you a profit moving forward. Another similar example would be buying a movie ticket. Halfway through the movie, you realize it's terrible. Many people stay simply because they already paid for the ticket. But economists say that the money is already gone. So whether you stay or leave, you won't get it back. So future decisions should be based on future benefits, not past costs, because what is gone is gone. So, opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative you give up when making a choice. So, let's take the lemonade stand example again. You have 1 hour of free time and $5. Either you can run your lemonade stand and earn more money, or you can go to the movies with your friends and probably spend that $5. So if you choose to run the lemonade stand, your opportunity cost is the fun movie experience you missed, and vice versa. If you choose to go to the movies, your opportunity cost is the money you could have earned selling lemonade. So say you have a lot of choices. It's not like, say you choose the first choice and then all the other choices are your opportunity cost. It's just the next best option that you didn't choose. So we can also take this example. Imagine you have 2 hours after school. You could study for tomorrow's exam or hang out with friends. If you choose to study, the opportunity cost is the time you could have spent with your friends. Every decision has an opportunity cost because choosing one option means giving up another. So what are marginal costs? Marginal cost is the additional cost of producing one more unit. So imagine you have the lemonade stand and you bought a table, sign, and a giant pitcher. Making your first cup of lemonade is expensive because you had to buy all that equipment. But making the next single cup is incredibly cheap. You only need to pay a few cents worth of sugar, water, and one extra lemon. So that's what businesses use. Businesses compare marginal costs with marginal benefit to decide whether producing more is worthwhile. So not every country organizes its economy the same way. There are several different economic systems, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. Let's look at the 4 main types. The first is a command economy. In a command economy, the government makes most economic decisions, including what is produced and how resources are allocated. Next is a market economy. Here, individuals and businesses make most decisions based on supply and demand with minimal government involvement. Then there's a mixed economy. This combines features of both command and market systems. Most countries today, including the US, operate as a mixed economy. Finally, there's the traditional economy. Traditional economies rely on customs, traditions, historical practices, rather than markets or government planning. So, some examples would be for a command economy would be North Korea because the government controls much of the economic activity. Then, as for a market oriented economy, you would take Singapore. Although, like all countries, it still has some government involvement. The United States, Canada, and most European countries operate as mixed economies, balancing free markets with government regulation. Some indigenous communities around the world continue to follow traditional economies based on long standing customs. So, like some villages probably follow traditional economy. All right, that wraps up our introduction to personal finance and economics. Today, we learned what an economy is, explored supply and demand, looked at different types of costs, and compared the major economic systems. These ideas form from the foundation for everything we will cover later in this course. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing so you don't miss the future lessons. Thanks for listening and remember to keep learning.